did you move, Tasha? Why don't you just have your own little apartment? Why don't you? First of all, I got tired of him. I moved there when I could be comfortable. Okay? In my 20s, I was rich. I was in my 20s. Okay? I worked for the state. I either worked for the state or I worked for the city. Okay, now for those of you who don't work for the state or the city, let me tell you this about that. All jobs start at about $20. Okay, that's like minimum wage. So I'm 23, 24, 25. Let me see, I married Richie when I was 27, so, and I worked for Digicom then. Another big, huge conglomerate company that I made a ton of money at, doing nothing, really. But anyway, I digress. So, when you work for the city and state, you make a ton of money. You get every other day off because every other day is a holiday. Somebody's holiday. The Mexican holidays, they celebrate them too. Or the Canadian holidays. They celebrate everything when you work for the city and state. It's great. So, because you get that day off with pay. Yeah. So, I work for the state. I'm kicking back. You know, I got $700 in the bank because I just paid my rent, which was what, $500? Yeah, for a huge, massive studio. I mean, this studio was like half of this house almost. It was huge. Anyway, so my bills were cheap because, you know, I was being frugal then. Had my little 401k, I had a normal corporate life, okay? And, you know, had my little Honda, 77 Cougar, baby, sunroof. I love that car. Anyway, so, I was comfortable. And then you start buying things, and you get a credit card, and you get this, and you get that. So anyway, I moved to another job with my, he was a volunteer then, Andrew Gans, and in case you guys don't know Andrew Gans, you know, everybody in the gay community knows Andrew Gans here in all of Northern California because he does massive projects. So they start little and they turn massive to help people learn about sex and safe sex and all that good stuff. So anyway, he was a volunteer. A couple of years later, turned my boss, and I was making $24 an hour then, something like that. Anyway, so I lived very comfortable is the point of the video. And after getting really in debt, I vowed to myself about 35, 38, never to do that again. Yeah, so then is when I really started paying back all my debt. Got divorced for the second time. Yeah, it was about that. And, you know, you really put your thinking cap on and say, hey, I'm really putting myself over, Tosh. Get a grip, you know? So I got a grip, paid everything back, paid Mama back. Life was good, my little car was running good. Then oh yeah, well, something happened I'm not ready to talk about yet. So, anywho, so then I'm doing okay. But still, now I went to a job that wasn't in the county. It was corporate, but corporate people don't pay their temps. Shit, okay? They don't. So now I'm living a corporate life, working hard, and not getting anything for it, which sucks. So I got paid crap, and I got treated like crap. So I thought, this is so not gonna work, okay? No. So I quit that job, went to another admin job. Okay, well, we know you were the, executive secretary for da-da-da. How'd you... No, because the dude is wanting stuff. And you know I don't play that, come here, little girl, and sit on my lap. Shit. No. I don't care if I was getting $80,000 a year. I ain't sucking somebody's thing just to be happy in life. It is so not worth it. So, 2006, I moved to that old apartment. And I was doing good. I had food, my bills were paid, everything, food and bills, rent and bills came out of one check, food and fun came out the other check. Okay, but life was good. Okay, life was good. Then I noticed things started getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, you know, things breaking down. Okay, things break down. I stayed there for 6 years, mind you. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 years. Last year was 2010. Yeah, 5 years I stayed there. Anyway, so it got to the point to where the building was really seriously under code, and he still wanted his $50 every year. So my rent was soon to be $1,000 for this rinky-dink, nasty apartment with the neighbors. I'm sure you guys remember those videos. You could hear them clearly upstairs, running around, gallivanting, fussing, fighting, cussing, you know, just up all night. And that's when I started sleeping in my wonderful lazy boy chair, because they do all that fussing and fighting mostly in their bedroom, which was over my bedroom. Couldn't sleep. So he kept wanting higher and higher and higher rent, and he wasn't fixing anything. And it's seriously a hazard. I'm telling you, the next tiny earthquake we have, that building's going down, because it's white, green, yellow, black mold. Yeah, did you know they come in that many colors? And he wasn't doing anything about it. So I started taking him to court, and I thought, you know what, Tasha? This whole big fight is not going to affect him. And nobody else was helping me fight. Just me. And I thought, I need sleep. I need a safe place to live, because they were getting, yeah, bad. Anyway, the landlord was a slumlord, Fernando Zazueta. And I just became more and more unhappy, even though I loved that little apartment. I loved it. So I thought, okay, well, rent now is $1,000 for any apartment. I hadn't gotten a cost of living raise in years, so there's no sense in me living over my means ever, ever, ever again. Okay, part 2. So now, I moved from the apartment over to Harry Yee, whose house was in foreclosure when we all moved in. Yeah, there was 7 of us. Oh, including him, that'd be 8 of us, but it was a 6-room house, so, and it was wonderful. It was clean, nice, neat, organized, you know, because Harry was a type, even though he was a mean bastard, let us move in there and pay all that rent for nothing. He kept the house clean. Didn't dust every day, but he didn't need to. At that house, only next to my window was very dusty, so probably next to every window. But I'm just being silly. Oh, but I loved it. He'd always cook. They'd cook. I'd cook. We all get in the kitchen together and cook. Anyway, that was great. It was, you know, my room was 18 by 17. I had enough room for all my stuff, which I love because I'm getting older and I don't feel like lugging stuff around no more. Yeah, so when I move from here, I'm going to buy me a new air bed. Yeah, they're only $100. Did you know that? $122. Yeah. So, anywho, I'm here. I'm settled. My rent is good. I can pay my bills. I'm comfortable. Okay, I love my job. I love the people that I have the pleasure of working around. Yeah. So, life is good. I'm kicking it. You know, I got my jewelry thing going. I got doing, you know, my readings, my some healings. Got my snakes again. I'm comfortable. But I still live with a hoarder, and that just eats me up. I can't have any company here because it's just too freaking embarrassing. Walking through the living room with tons. Well, if you've seen any of my 1,000 some videos now, you know I don't exaggerate to prove my point. You've seen the movie Hoarders, right? Okay, well, the stuff isn't piled up so high, but you can't see the floor, so I'll put it that way. There's walk space from the front door. The halls are clear, my hall is clear, and my door. And yeah, my bedroom might always look messy because I leave my clothes out from the previous day or something like that, but my room isn't like just dirty. Okay, there's spots on the carpet, but that's not my fault. Spots will happen on the carpet. It's not like I drop food and stuff, but anyway, I digress. You know, and I'm like, okay, so you know, you're gonna fix this, right? Because I can't just live in a place where there's just 4-year-olds' toys in the whole living room. Shit on the whole 8-foot dining room table.